Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Enoch, and today we are going to be learning how to create a WordPress website for a digital marketing agency. Now, before we get started, I want to show you the things that we're going to cover in this tutorial. One, I'm going to be showing you how to create this header section right here. Now, the top bar has some contact information and social media icons, as you can see. It also has a nav menu and a book appointment button that redirects to the contact us page. Below it, we have the hero section with an image on the right and some text on the left. And as you can see, we have some animated text right here, and I'm going to be showing you how to create that from scratch. I'm also going to be showing you how to create a services section, a why choose us section. Then I'm also going to be showing you how to create an FAQ page with these categories. For example, you can edit these, but here we have general inquiries, payments, and transactions. So you can edit the questions and customize their respective answers. And I'll also be showing you how to create that from scratch. Then I'm also going to be showing you how to create a pricing section with both monthly and yearly plans, just like this. And once someone, for example, selects the monthly plan and chooses the launch plan, for example, by clicking on get started, so I'll open this up in a new tab, the customer will get redirected to the checkout page with their plan selected. For example, as you can see, we're having the launch plan right here, and it's $4.99. So the customers can add their billing information and make a payment. So once they place their order, this money will be deposited into your PayPal, Stripe, or bank account. Now, when you go back to the home page, you'll find that we also have a testimonial section. So you can add as many testimonials as you want for this section, and I'll show you how to do that. Then we're also having a call to action, which is important for any business. Okay, so you have a contact us button right here and a call to action, and this redirects to the contact us page. Now, for the services that we offer, this is going to be really easy to create. We have listed the features and the type of services that we offer, plus a get started button that redirects you to the pricing page. Okay, and when you scroll down, you're having an FAQ section, just like the one we had on the home page. Then we're also having the pricing section, just like the one we had on the home page. And when you scroll down, still we're having a contact us call to action that we had on the home page. Then when you take a look at the about us section, for example, if you're to scroll down, you will see that we're having this counter right here showing the clients, the awards, the years of experience, and above it we have some about us text right here. Then we're having a team section right here, the team's profile picture, something like that, their name and the department they work in. Then as for every page, we're going to have a call to action below the page. Okay, now for the portfolio or the projects that we have worked on, we're going to be creating something like this, and we're going to be having, for example, the title of the project or client that you worked on, its description, and the features or the main components that you worked on as a company. Then you can redirect, for example, if it's a website, you can embed a link of a live website for the project that you worked on. Then we're going to have a contact us page, and I'm going to be showing you how to create these forms from scratch, how to customize them, how to add fields, how to remove fields, and so many other things. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we need to do before we get started is to get a domain name, and the domain name is basically a unique identifier of your website on the internet. Yeah, for example, google.com, for example, youtube.com. Now let me show you how to get a domain. Okay, head over to this link, enochmwebe.com/domains, and hit enter. I've put this link in the description of this video right now, and once you're here, you're going to be redirected to Namecheap. Okay, now if you're not signed in or you don't have an account, you can create one right now, and you can get started. Okay, so hit the sign up button if you don't have an account, or if you already have an account, you can hit sign in. And once you're here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come to domain name search. Okay, and you're gonna type in your business name. For example, my business name, for example, on YouTube here, it's Enoch Mwebe. Yeah, it's my name and I use it for the YouTube channel. And it's gonna search to see if there are any valid domain names, and it's showing that this is taken. Yeah, and because it's taken, it lists some other available results that I can maybe buy. Yeah, so there are a bunch of them right now, but I'll just choose something at random. For example, this one that I'll add to cart. It's 1.8, and that's okay. And I can click on view item, and I can proceed to checkout. Okay, so once you're here, you can change the number of years you want to register your domains for. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You can change to 5 years. It's not really expensive, but I'll keep it for 1 year since this is just a demo purpose. Okay, so I'll hit confirm order, and once I'm here, I'm gonna fill in some information right here. For example, let's see, we have the card right here, we have every information that's already saved up. We can hit continue. So I'll close this and I'll click on pay now. And it will process the order. And you see the purchase summary and everything. So my card has been built. So now you can click on Namecheap and go back to the home page and scroll up here to your profile and click on dashboard and come to domain list, and you see the domain name that you have bought. Okay, now let's get the hosting. Now to get the hosting, open up a new tab and go to enochmwebe.com/hostinger. okay, and this is going to take you to the Hostinger website. Right now, if you don't have any account, you can create one. Yeah, if you already have an account, you can sign in. Okay, then we can continue from there. Okay, so now they're giving 75% off, and I really like Hostinger. All my websites that I operate right now are hosted on Hostinger. I love it so much. I've never had any problems with it. My accounts have never been hacked before, like on other hosting platforms. There are no viruses. Yeah, so once you're here, what you can do is simply click on login. Okay, then click on Google. Yeah, I think it's the easiest way to set up an account here, and it will automatically sign you in if you have an account, or may ask you to verify your email address. Yeah, if it's a new account, but that is so easy to do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on explore plans, then I'm gonna click on single web hosting, or premium web hosting, or business web hosting. Yeah, so you guys can see that single web hosting offers one website, this offers 100 website, and this offers 100 website, but there are still some differences. For example, you have weekly backups, whereas you have daily backups. So depending on what you need, yeah, you can order anything. You can buy any web hosting between these two that I would recommend. However, since this is just for tutorial purposes, I'll select this single one that has one website. Probably I may never use this again. So you can select 48 months, 12 months, 1 month. Yeah, so I'm gonna select 1 month. Okay, then I see how much they're gonna bill me. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit choose payment method, and let's see what payment methods they have. So you can use PayPal, but I'm going to select Visa. And I'm going to put the name on the card and everything, and I'm going to hit pay now. So after making all those payments and going through all those steps, it's going to redirect you to this page, and you can click on setup. So you can click on setup, and once you're here, you can say I'm creating for myself, business, or someone else, depending on what you need. Is it your first time? I'd say yes or no. So I'll say no. What type of website are you building? Maybe an online store. I'll click next. WordPress, I can select WordPress. This is the WordPress channel. So you can insert your email, for example. If you wish to change this, I can say enochmgtshift@gmail.com. Yeah, I can set up a password. I think I'll click next. Okay. All right. I think I'll save this up. Then it's going to ask me a default theme. I can select Astra. Then I'll say no. I want to select plugins manually. I will skip this. Then what's your website name? Maybe. So for the website name, you're going to get your domain name. And you copy it and paste it in here. And click next. Select it and click next. And say confirm ownership. So you're going to click next. Then hit next. So it's going to install WordPress on the website. Okay. By default. So it's displaying an error here. Domain status not pointing to our name servers. Yeah. So click on this error right here that says how to fix it. Yeah. So it's going to ask you, let's activate enochmwebe.lol. So you're going to select the provider that you bought your domain from. And I'm going to select Namecheap. And I'm going to click let's start. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go, they're telling me to log into my Namecheap server. Namecheap account. Okay. And find your old name servers. Yeah. And change them. Okay. So I'm going to go here. Then remember, under the domain list, we have the domain name right here. Then we're going to click on manage. Okay. Then I'm going to come here under name servers. Under domain, under name servers, I'm going to select custom name server. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. Okay. Then I paste it in here. Then I'm going to go back to Hostinger and copy the second one. And I'm going to paste it right here. Okay. Then once I am done, I'm going to click on this save icon. So it's going to save everything. Okay. And once it's done, I'm going to go back to Hostinger and click continue. Then say all is set. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this domain name that I've just bought. Okay. And I'm going to click on go to that domain name. And let's see if the DNS has propagated already. So usually it's saying the site can't be reached because DNS propagation takes a few minutes to an hour for you to link your domain name to the hosting account. But after the DNS propagation is done, then it should display at least correctly. Okay. So now it's been a few minutes since we last loaded this up. Now I'm going to try it again, and I try to go to this domain that I've just bought, and right now it's propagating. Okay. So to log into my admin dashboard of WordPress, what I'm going to have to do is at the end of this domain, all I have to do is put a slash, then type in wp-admin. Okay. then hit enter. And what this is gonna do, it's gonna redirect me to the login page. So it's gonna redirect me to this page, and I can insert my email. For example, I used enochmgt@gmail.com. Then for the password, I'll just type that in. Okay, then I hit enter, and right now I'm gonna be signed in into my WordPress backend dashboard. Okay, so you can always save these login credentials, and this is your website. So you've set up the domain name, you set up the hosting, and now you're ready to start building your website. Okay, so now let's get started. So I'm logged into my backend dashboard of WordPress, and the very first things I like to do is to click on, while I'm on dashboard, is to click on screen options and just uncheck everything here, just to keep this dashboard clean. Now, once I'm done, the next thing I like to do is to install a theme. So you come under appearance right here and click on themes. And the theme is basically something that gives or controls the general lookout or feel of the website. Okay, so now I'm gonna click on a new theme, and the theme that I'm gonna be using is called Astra, which is one of my favorite themes. So I'll click on install, and once it's installed, I'll click on activate. Okay, and now the Astra theme is activated, but I'll close all these. So now the next thing that I'm gonna do is to create pages. So to do that, I have to come under pages and click on a new page. And the very first page that I want to create is a home page. So I'm gonna type in home and click publish, and publish once again. Then the next page, I'm going to click on add new page. It's gonna be the services page, and I'm gonna publish that, and I'm gonna create the about page. And after creating the about page, sorry about that, about, publish, I'm gonna create the projects page or portfolio, but I'm gonna call it projects. Sorry, projects. I'm gonna publish that, and I'm gonna create the FAQ page by clicking on add new page, then create FAQ. I'll click publish, publish once again. Then once I'm done, I'm also gonna create the pricing page. So this can be pricing, publish, and publish it once again. Then next, I am gonna create, I'm gonna click on a new page and create the contact page. So I'm gonna click on contact, type in contact, sorry, and click publish. So once I'm done, I'm gonna click on this WordPress icon, and here are the pages that I have just created. Okay, so now the next step is going to be installing the required plugins. So come under plugins right here and click on add new plugin. And the plugins that you're going to be using for this tutorial are basically 3 plugins. Okay, now, so let's search for right here. Let's search for Elementor, and we're going to install the Elementor plugin right here. So click on install now. Then while it's still installing, you can scroll down and install Royal Elementor add-ons. We are gonna need it. Then you're gonna need, I think, 2 more plugins, and that's gonna be WooCommerce. Search for WooCommerce. WooCommerce. And install WooCommerce right here. Now, if you prefer to use Stripe or PayPal, you can install any of the 2. So you can activate WooCommerce first for these to be activated or to be installed, but now it's active. So just right click and refresh the page. So now then I can install them, but for this case I will install PayPal. Yep, but you can also install Stripe. Then one last plugin that's going to be essential is going to be called Cut Flows. So search for Cut Flows, something like this. And this is a plugin right here. WooCommerce Checkout Funnel Builder. So install that. And once it's installed, let's go back to the installed plugins and see what we can do with them. So what we can do is that I can right click on this and say activate Elementor, then add-ons, also activate that. Right click on WooCommerce and activate that. So you can run through these setups, but for me that won't be necessary right now. So under these add-ons, I'll just click skip and skip this. So let's close all those to the right that I've installed, and we'll refresh this page right here so we can see that everything is installed. But for this tutorial, you're going to need an Elementor Pro version. So an easy way to upgrade is to right click on Get Elementor Pro. Then it's going to redirect you to your to the Elementor landing page right here. So you can look through these pricing options right here, but I have mine already downloaded. And if you have yours already downloaded or after purchase, then what you're gonna do is to come under plugins and a new plugin, then click on upload plugin. Then let me just drag mine. I will just drag mine and sort of drop it here, then click on install now. And once the installation is done, I can click on activate plugin. It's installed right here. So I'm gonna close all these, then we start creating the website. So now when you take a look at the plugins we have installed, Cut Flows is gonna help us set up the checkout page. As I showed you in the introduction, the Elementor and Elementor Pro are gonna be helping us to create the web pages. For example, Elementor allows you add widgets, for example, images, image boxes, headings, some text paragraphs, buttons, and videos onto your web page, as you're gonna see. Then we have the Royal Elementor add-ons. These are basically some, advanced or more complex widgets that Elementor does not have. Then you have WooCommerce, and what WooCommerce is going to help us with is setting up the plans. Okay, so we're going to create different plans as different products. Then the WooCommerce PayPal payments, we're going to be receiving payments on our website using PayPal. Before we get started working on the website, we need one more setting configured. So now you need to come to Elementor right under here, then click on settings. And once you're in the settings, come under features and turn on two important features. In one, make sure nested elements is active. Okay, so make it active, and the menu element is also active. Okay, then after you're done, make sure to click save changes. Okay, then scroll down, because when you take a look, for example, if I click on visit site, we are having this page being displayed, and this header is looking not so good, but we're going to work on that. Come back to the settings, to the dashboard, scroll down to settings and go under reading. Okay, then check this and select a static page and make your home page be set to home, and click save changes. So now every time someone visits your home page, it would be displaying this home page. For example, when I go to all pages, the home page is set to this page. So when I click view, for example, it's gonna look like this. The changes haven't taken effect yet, but within a few minutes, you start to see that this page is now different. So I'll close this for now. Then we start working on the home page. So this is a look of the website that I've already created. And we're going to kick off by developing first this hero section and all this. Then we can start working on the header and the footer. Okay. Now let's go back to the pages and click on home. Sorry, we can click on edit under home. And once this is open up, what you're going to do is to click edit with Elementor. So it's going to open up the Elementor page builder. And I'm going to give you guys a very quick demo tour of what Elementor is all about. Okay. So now you have a panel on the left right here. It has elements. Some people call them widgets. And on the right, it has globals. Okay. So on the left right here under elements or under these widgets, yeah, you can search for them, yeah, by typing. For example, if you want to add a video, you can search for a video. So there are a bunch of widgets you can use: video playlist, video, media carousel, and all that. So all the widgets that you're gonna need to build your website, or all the elements, are found on the left hand side. Okay. So you have headings, text editors, buttons, icons, you have forms, you have sliders, you have pricing tables, you have so much stuff. Okay. Now some of this stuff has been already imported, or the widgets have been added by the Royal Add-Ons by Elementor. Okay. The Elementor plugin. So you have post carousels, you have image carousel, you have form builders, navigation menu, pricing tables, so much stuff. Okay. Now, to show you how to get started on building your own home pages, and I mean your own websites, I'm gonna be showing you something really easy to understand. Okay. When you're building websites, it's just about understanding how boxes work. Okay. So when you take a look, for example, the site we're going to build, I can already visualize that these are two boxes. One box on the left contains this hero text and this animated text, and the right one contains an image. When you scroll down, for example, if you're to build just this section, you realize that you only need 4 boxes containing an image, a heading, and some text. So it's the same thing as here. The main 2 boxes, we have one on the left and one on the right. And as we build this, you guys will get a hang of it, like what is really going on. So we can go back to our home and we start editing. So what you're going to do here is that I'm going to click on this plus sign right here. Then I select Flexbox. Now, Elementor has both Flexbox and Grid. You can use Grid to build your website, or you can use Flexbox. But for this tutorial, we're going to be using Flexbox, which is, you know, more customizable and easy to sort of understand it. But Grid also has its own benefits. Okay, so let's get started. So now I'm going to click on that Flexbox. Then, because our hero section right here is a 2-column layout, we can make also our section here a 2-column layout by selecting this type of layout. So the very first thing I want to do is that I want to set a background. Okay, so you realize that for each element you click on in Elementor, it has a layout, or the element you're editing. So in this time you're editing a container, the style tab, and the advanced tab. Yeah, so each type of element has different settings, okay, as you're gonna see in the near future. Okay, so now I want to set the background to this type of gray, and what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna color pick it using this extension that I have in my Chrome browser, and I click pick, and I'll pick this color and copy this gray. And once I'm done, I'm going to go under style, under background, and the background type, select classic, and click on this color picker and I'll just paste in my color code. Didn't copy, so I'll copy it again and I'll paste it in. Sorry guys, it's not copying and I don't understand why. So maybe copy it like that and paste it in. Okay, I'll remove one hash, and that is a grape that I'm looking for. Okay, then in its advanced term, I want to give a padding of, I think, 100 to the left and 100 to the right. Okay, just to have some space. Okay, now the difference between padding and margin is that margin adds space outside the box that you're working with, and padding adds space in the inside of the box that you're working with. Okay, but this is going to become clear as we move ahead in the tutorial. Okay, you see me interchange. Some places I apply padding and some places I apply a margin. Okay, so now I want to add, for example, still 100. I think 70 would do on the top and 70 padding on the bottom. Okay, so now let me add something to the right here. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to add this image. So I'm going to click on this plus icon, and it's going to pull up the left panel, and I'm going to drag an image like that. So that's how we add images to a web page. And I'm going to click on choose image right here. I'm going to click on upload files, and I'm going to click on select files, and it's going to open up my computer file explorer. Then I can insert any image that I would like. So in this case, I'm going to insert this, or alternatively, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select everything and I'm going to upload it. Okay, instead of uploading image by image, I'm going to just upload everything so that I save some time. Okay, so now this is the image right here that I'm going to use, and I'm going to click on select. So now it's going to look like that. So on the left right here, I want to add some text, this text that you see right here, and it's a heading. I'm going to use the heading element, and I drag it and I place it right here. So what I'm going to do is, actually, let me just copy this text. Okay, then you paste it right here. So it's now looking different from what we have here. But to style that, one way to do that is to come under style, make the text color white. Okay, then we have another typography setting, so we can change this. Click on this pen icon or pencil icon, click on the font family, and I want to use a font called Poppins. Okay, and to make it bolder, still you go under typography and select the weight. To increase it, you can make it black, or you can make it bold, but black is one of the boldest, so I'll go extra bold maybe. Then I can use this slider to increase, the weight of the text. Okay, so I can click on this hide panel element right here, and this is how it's looking. Okay, so I can make it even bigger, something like, I think 50 pixels would do. Let's just make it 50 pixels. That is nice. Then what we're going to do is to add some text under it. Now, before I proceed, I want to show you guys a tool that I really like to use. For example, it's called What the Font. If I want to identify the font type that was used, for example, on any given website, what I can do, the font is called, the extension is called What the Font, and I think I'm gonna link it in the description of the video. So basically, once you click on it, just like this, then you start to hover over all these fonts. You can click on this font, for example, then you see that the font we used here is 900, and I mean it's Poppins 900 weight. Yeah, as you can see here, the style is normal, the size is 54 pixels, and the line height is 70, and the color is this. Okay, so to match this font, or in case you want to copy, for example, any font on any website, this extension would come in handy. So if I'm to close this and I want to find out, for example, what weight this is 400, and the weight is also 400. Okay, and it's 16 pixels. But now this is 54. So what I can do to match this exactly is that I can click on this, go under typography, and just set mine to 54, something like that. Okay, then it will match exactly this font weight. All right, so let's proceed. Now I'll click this to pull the panel back, and what I'm gonna do now, I want to copy this text, guys, and I want to add it right under here. So to add a paragraph, use the text editor element. So you drag it, just place it under here. Then I'll still paste in my text. Okay. So now to get the color code of the text that we used here, what I have to do is to still pull up this extension and click on this font. Then this is the color code that we used for this text when we are developing this website. So to apply the same color code, you come under style, you change the text color to something like this. So I'm gonna paste it in. Okay, then I just leave it. Okay, oh sorry, click outside, then click on update. So the changes haven't taken effect yet, but if I preview the changes by clicking on that icon, you would see. Now I don't understand why it's not changing the text, but so the text is not changing color, so it happens. But let's try and redo that. So add the text editor once again, then let me first try and make this white, sort of. Now it's working. Yep, but now I wanna paste in my color code that I copied, this right here. So now it has changed, and you can make the typography change to Poppins. All right, yeah, so it's looking like that. Then I can go under content still, and I paste in my text. Sorry about that. This is the text that I wanted to add. Okay, so I think the text I'm pasting in is the one causing trouble. So what I will do, I'll just say paste as plain text. Yeah, so now the color is adapting. Okay, so now that looks better, and you can keep on doing this. For example, if you want to add specific color tones to the text for each text you had. For example, if I'm to add, let me show you guys another maybe text editor right under here. Yeah, you see how now I have to go still back and click on this and paste in my color code to make it look like this. Yeah, so to avoid that sort of repetition and time wasting, what you can do is that you can, for example, click on, I'll delete this and I'll show you guys how, right click on it and delete, and I'll show you guys how simple that is. Okay, so let's say I add another text editor. Okay, then I go under style, under this color picker, and I paste in my color code like this. What I can do is that I can make this color code global. Okay, so I can click on this plus icon and maybe name this text color white. Okay, then I save that up. So even if I'm to delete this and probably add another text editor or even a heading right under it, I can click on this text editor, go under style. Now instead of clicking on this box right here of the color picker, I can select this globe icon. Okay, then I scroll down and I find text color white and I make it that color. Same thing with the heading. I can still go under style, click on the text color. Text color. Scroll down and I make it that white shade. Okay, so simple as that. So by doing that, we saved our color as a global color. Now let's move. So the other thing that you want to do is to set up global fonts. You realize that every time we add text editors, okay, or even stuff like buttons, you'd find that they have, or by default, if you go under style and under typography, they are set to roboto. So if you're adding thousands of your elements to your web page, you'd find that this is time consuming. So you'd have to set a global font that you can actually keep on reusing. So every time you drag a widget or a text widget onto your canvas, you'll be pretty assured that it's going to be of type Poppins that you're going to be reusing in the entire website. Okay, so let's delete these elements by right clicking on them and deleting them. Then what I want to do is I'm going to go to and click on this hamburger menu and go to site settings. Okay, and once you go to site settings, then you can start working on configuring this. So you can go to global fonts and click on the primary font and just make it Poppins, or any font that you would want. But for this case, I'll be using Poppins. Go to the secondary font and use Poppins. Okay, then go to the text, just make everything Poppins. Okay, and the accent, I'm also gonna make it Poppins. So that is done. So I'm gonna go back, but I need to save the changes. Then I can come under typography, under the theme style, and make sure that the entire body is set to Poppins, and the links are also set to Poppins. Okay, and what else can we have? The H1 element can also be set to Poppins. The H2 tag can also be set to Poppins. And lastly, I think we can do the H3 tag. Make sure it is set to Poppins. So something like this. So now, once everything is done, and I click update, one last thing that we can actually do is that we can come to these buttons right here and have them pre-configured. So the text color can be white, but then the background type can be a blue shade. For example, if you go to this, I want to create buttons like this. Okay, so I can get my color picker, pick this blue right here. Okay, I don't know why it's not picking it. So I'm gonna pick this blue by clicking on this color picker and clicking on this copy. Okay, then I come right here under, remember we are under the button settings. If I'm to go back, you see under the button settings right here, remember we had text, set the text color to white. Now the background type, it's gonna be classic, and we just paste this color code in. And let me just copy it from here because it's pasting in some other colors. Yes, so we have that blue right here. So we can also make it global by saying blue, because we may need to reuse it later on in the website. Yeah, and that's how it's looking. So we set its typography also to Poppins, something like that. And what we can do is we can go back and click update, then close these settings. So now you realize that every time, for example, we add some text or any text on the image, it will be of this type popping that is similar to this. Okay, so now I'll delete that. So below this, if you're to take a look, let me close this. If you're to take a look at how our website is looking, we have this animated text right under this paragraph. Yeah, so to add that, we are going to search for a widget called animated text. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to drag it under here, and we are going to type in something like lead generation on the left here. Then we're going to type in something like maybe digital marketing, one of the core services that you offer, something like that. And I'll remove this prefix text. Okay, then we'll change this from typing to another effect. For example, you have slide, the one that you're going to be using. Then I need to change the colors, so I need to go under style and make sure the text color is different for the advanced text, because it's blue right now, but we need to make it green. So let's color pick this green. For example, click on pick, and I want to select this green. So I'll highlight it and copy it, come back to my editor, click on this color box, and I'll paste it in. So I'd like to add this also as a global color. Maybe I'll say green, something like that, and I'll paste it in. I'll save it. So I need to remove these paddings here, because now there was so much space that was added. Then I'll go back under content and make sure it's left aligned so that everything is in one line. Okay, so if I'm to hide this and see how everything looks, that's how it's looking. So now to finish off this hero section, I need to push this closer to this paragraph. And to do that, click on this widget right here and come under advanced, come under margin, under the top margin, apply a negative margin. Okay, so then it will move closer. Then one thing I like to do is under style, under advanced text, under typography, I just want to make it the weight sort of normal, or 500 to medium. So when I update this and I preview it in a new window, it's looking like this. So now the text and the image right now are not balanced well, yeah, are not well aligned. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back and click on this section right here. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna come under layout, under align items, I'm gonna click on center. Okay, so once I update that and I take a look at how it's looking, as you can see now, everything is centered and it's looking all right. Okay, so now let's take a look at what we have here. So I need to add these two buttons, but before I add these two buttons, let me just reduce the font size of this to something like 30. That is just fine, or 28. Yeah. So now under this, I'm gonna click on this menu right here, and I'm gonna add a column. So on this column, container, the direction is important. Is it horizontal? Is it vertical? Is it reversed? So to better understand what is going on here, let me just add two buttons. In one, it's gonna have get started, And I'm going to right click on this and set duplicate in the other, maybe watch video. So let's have a video presentation. Okay. Then the good thing with these buttons is that you can add an SVG. Okay. So by clicking on an icon, library, I can add maybe play, something like this. Then I can add it before or after. Okay. So now, if I'm to style these buttons the way I want them, for example, this first one, I can go under style and go under text color. I can actually, it can remain white. That's okay. But then this color right here, the green, I want to make everything transparent, just like that. Then the border type, I can make it solid and make it maybe 1 pixel or 2 pixels. I think 1 is just fine. Then the border radius, I can increase it until it is circular like that. Then the border color, I can set it, I can click on this globe, and remember we saved blue as a global color, and I will make it blue. Then I can increase the weight of the border, and if I click update, for example, and I see how it looks right here, I think 1 pixel will be just fine. Then we have another button right here, and this, once I go under the style tab, I can make it white, the background. I can also make the text color black. Okay. Then what I can do is I can increase the border radius to something like 25. Okay. So once I'm done, so this get started button, if I'm to click on it, under content, if I want to link it somewhere, maybe a services section, yeah, I can just type in services and it will pull up the services page. And this watch video, if it's a YouTube link, for example, if I'm to go to YouTube and maybe search for my video or a digital marketing video, so or a presentation about digital marketing, so let's say digital marketing course, full course or something like that, then I can easily copy, for example, the link address, come back under home, under link, I just paste it in right here. Okay. So now we need to order these to look like this. Okay. Now, once you click on this column right here, you can change the direction. Yeah. So right now, by default, it's set to vertical, but it can be set to row, horizontal, or it can be set to reversed, where the order is changed, or it can be flipped from bottom to up. But I'll keep it horizontal row. Okay. Something like this. So when you update this, you will realize that now it's looking much better. So I want to make things perfectly aligned here and reduce on the space that we're having right here. So to do that, what I need to do is to click on this column, go under advanced and turn off the padding. Okay. Then turn off the margin also and drag this up just a little bit to look like that. So now when you take a look, if you update and take a look at how it's looking, I think that's much better, but it's too close. So I'll reduce on the margin to something like that. Okay. Update that and take a look. So now I think the page is looking nice. So what we can do now, if you take a look at this row section, we have this triangular thing at the bottom. And to do that, it's quite easy. Just click on the section right here. Then what we're going to do, under the style tab, scroll down to shape divider, select bottom, and select one of these. So you can have mountains, you can have tilt opacity, fan opacity, you can have a curve, you can have a split. Yeah, but I'll go with a triangle. Then this triangle, what I'm gonna do with it, it has to be actually inverted. Yeah. Then I just give it, sorry, there's a weight matter here. No. So let's just give it a height of 50 pixels, something like that. If I update this and I take a look at how it's looking, I think that's perfectly looking nice. Okay. Though to make it look nicer, if you come under advanced, sorry, maybe the bottom margin can be 100. Okay. Since we need more space right under here. So I think that looks nice. Okay. So I'm just gonna click update, and this is how our hero section is looking. Okay. So now let's move on and start creating this section right here. So let me just copy this. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a row with the bottom facing arrow, something like that. And under advanced, I just wanna have a 60 pixel margin to the top. Okay. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click at the heading right under here, and I'll just make sure it is centered. Okay. And just change the color to black. Or other words, I can actually use this color. If I'm to pick this gray right here, I can use it for the text. Okay. So let me just color pick this gray, highlight everything here, and I'll just copy it. Then instead of making this black, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make it gray. Oh, come on. So this is a gray shade that I wanna add. Okay, yeah, that's looking nice. So now, let me add this gray shade as a global color. So I'll say gray. Then what I can do is under content, I can just paste in my text. Sorry about that, guys. I want to paste in the text that I copied, our comprehensive digital marketing services. So I want to break this into two by adding the BR keyword. Yeah, something like this. So this just breaks the sentence into two. Yeah. So still go back under style. And I just want to make these 800 pixels, maybe. We can do 700. Yeah. Let's just bump up the size to something like 36. And below it, I want to add some text. Okay. And in this text, this is the text that I'll be including. So just copy this and right click and say paste as plain text, and go under style, and I'll just center that. Okay. So below that text, I'm going to add a container. Okay. And in that container, I'm also going to add another container. So inside the inside container, I'm going to right click and say duplicate, and duplicate once again. So now these rows are flowing downward, but I want to make them flow sideways. So I'm going to click on this parent container outside, then change the direction of the items inside it to row, just like that, to a horizontal format. So now what I can do is I can change the background of this column right here to match this. So to get this color, I'll just color pick it and pick, I'll highlight it. Okay, so copy it, come under home, click on this column right here. Okay guys, come under style, under background, click on this color box right here and just paste it in. Okay, so that's how it's looking. So while I'm still here, I can actually apply a border to make it more rounded on the corners of something like 8 pixels. Okay, so now let's add these images and this text, and then we move. So to add an image, you can click on this menu right here, drag an image, select an image. So these are the images that we're going to be using. So let me use this, and under it I want to throw in a heading and maybe say content marketing, one of the services that we offer. And we can make this gray by scrolling down to a gray color. Make the typography, I think, the size of, let's see, 35. Sorry, I meant 25. 25 is just fine. Okay. But instead of this, yeah, 25 is just fine, but we can make it H3. Yeah. Or even H2. Yeah, that's okay. So 20, was this 25? Yeah, 25 was fine, but I think I'm going to go with 22. Let's do 24. Yeah, I'm happy with 24. And just click the alignment and make it centered. So at the bottom, we're going to add this text right here. So let me just copy it. Then click on this icon right here and add a text editor below it. And I'll just paste in this text. Then go under style and just make it centered. So now that is looking quite nice. So what I'm going to do is that I'm actually going to delete this and click on this column and delete that column too. Then I'm going to click on this inner column that is left, and I'll just duplicate it, I think 2 or 3 more times, just like that. Then we have 4 columns. Okay, so we're going to add all these services. For example, I'll copy this: email marketing and SEO, pay-per-click. So let me just copy that. Then I'll come here and press Windows V. Maybe I'll add SEO right here. Windows V, add email marketing, one of the main services that we offer. Then pay-per-click. Okay, so let me see how using what the font. So these were actually 20 pixels and we have set ours to 25. So let's just make these 20 pixels by going under typography and making it 20. That is fine. So I can copy this. Instead of pasting it, I paste its style here and right here. So all we have left to do is to change these images to something better looking. I can use that. And for this, I can use that. And for this, I can use that. So I think now if I'm to update this looks just fine. All right, so let's move. Now we need to work on this why choosers section, which is going to be really easy to create. So the very first thing that I want to do to move first is that I'm going to copy this text, why choosers. I'll copy this, then also copy this, then work on it. So we can go back still, add a new section with 2 columns. Okay, so on the right here, we're going to have an image. So drag and place it in right here. And we're going to use this image right here. Then on the left hand side, what we're going to do is we're going to add a heading. But remember, on this top part, we had why choosers. Okay, and it was a green color. And let's just make the font size 16. It can be 18 pixels. Okay, then what we can do is that we can duplicate this and we can drag it and just place it over here. Alternatively, instead of dragging it, you can delete this, or you can copy this and just paste it over here. Okay, so you go ahead style, you can make it left aligned, and under content you can actually replace this content to something like that, but I don't think that was a heading. This was a heading. So I feel like I want to make this text heavier to 800 here, and you can copy this style and paste a style right here to just make it a little bit big. Okay, so let's center line it once again. So this looks now nice. So the next thing we have to do is to just add in a text editor right under here. Then I'll just paste in this text, and it's looking better. So we need to add this progress bars right here. So now to add a progress bar, we're gonna search for progress bar right here, and we're gonna use this one. Should be fine. Yeah, that's looking nice. So so the title we're gonna give it maybe in marketing. In marketing we are 90, and the title position can be outside, and the counter position also can be outside. And once that is done, scroll down to the settings and play around with this line height or line size to something that you would like. Then come under style, and what you're gonna do is that for the title you want to make the color actually to this gray shade. Then the counter, you can also make it gray. Okay, that's looking nice. And what we can do is that I want to change the color of the progress line to the blue that we saved to look like this. And once that is done, all we can do is duplicate it 1, 2, 3, 4, or any times that you would want. Okay, and once it's duplicated, what you can do is that you can play around with these figures. Yeah, for example, in 80, if you're doing SEO, and this can be PPC, pay per click, and maybe this is at 95. Web design, maybe that can be at 85, something like that. And what else can we have here? Maybe we can add logo design as one of the services or the stuff that you do, and this can be maybe at 79, or doesn't have to be, yeah, anything that works for you. So now that's how it's looking, but remember these things are not centered very well. So what we have to do is to click on this section right here and align items to the center. Okay, so that looks somehow much cleaner. So if we update that, okay, and we take a look at how the section is looking, yeah, it is, and that looks nice. So now we need to move forward very fast. The next section we're going to be working on is the FAQ section. So as you guys can see, these are tabbed like this. In one way to handle this is to come back to the editor, click on this flex box, and add one container at first. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to add in this text and this text. So I'll copy this and this text first. Okay, then this tilted background shape divider. Okay, so remember guys, we did add a 60 pixel margin to the top right here, but it's necessary, so I want to do the same thing here. And advanced, make sure it's unlinked, and just add a 60 pixel margin to the top. Okay, so now click on this section again, come under style, come under background, and I need to add the background color similar to this color that we used. Okay, so now let's click on this section again, come on a background, and let me color pick it. So it's not picking anything, but let me try to pick it from here. All right, so just pick this color, copy everything, and come back here. Make sure this section is selected under background, under color. You can just paste it in right here. So that's how it's looking. Then what you're gonna do is come under advanced. Let's just give it 100 pixel margin to the top and to the bottom. Okay, so to do that, where you see top right here, just add 100. Then to the bottom also 100. So then come back under style, under shape divider. So the top, you're gonna select tilt. Let's just make the height 50 pixels. Then go to the bottom and also tilt the bottom. It's something like 50 pixels. So we can add in some text right here. And first it's gonna be this heading. And the text we're gonna be adding is this FAQ text. Come under style, make it centered, and just make it green. Okay. The typography, I think it can be 18 or 20 pixels. That should be fine. Let's do 20. Then what we can do is we can add a heading right underneath it. All right, just like this. Then what you're gonna add is I don't think I copied it, guys, but let me just copy it right now. Frequently asked questions. So just paste it in right here. Go under style, make it black and centered, and the weight can be 800. Okay, and this can be 36 pixels. Looking nice. So then we have this text underneath it, and to add that, you guys already know what to do, is to drag the text editor widget and just drop it under here. So now, and what I'm gonna do is to highlight all these and just paste in my text. Okay, go under style and just make sure it's centered. Then under it, what I'm gonna add is this tabbed kind of layout. Okay, so I'm gonna search for tabs, and I'm gonna drag the tab right underneath, just like this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first rename this. For example, I can call this general inquiries. Come on, inquiries. Okay, then this second one, if I'm to minimize that, maybe it's payments, so you can categorize this to any of the stuff you'd like. Then maybe transactions or reporting, something like that. Yeah, so now you have 3 of these. Yeah, so before you do anything, I want to style them. Yeah, so the normal, hover, and the active state. Okay, so when it's hovered like this, what do you want to appear? So I can go under here and just remove the background. I don't want anything to happen when it's being hovered on. Sorry guys, but I just wanted to make this transparent. I dragged the wrong slider, and as you can see, the text turns to white. Okay, but to fix that, I'm gonna handle that later. But then let's go to active, and the active tab, I'm also gonna just make it transparent, just like this. Okay, so To make this change color, first go to titles, then go to hover. Once the text is hovered, let's just turn it to green. Yeah, something like this. Then once the tab is active, just make the text color also green. Okay, something like this. So now I think that makes much more sense. Okay, so for the general inquiries, let's add something. Okay, so you're just gonna add 2 columns. Yeah, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna add accordions. So we're gonna add an accordion right here. Okay, then for example, the first question, if this is the first question that we are going to be handling, for example, you can copy that and come to item 1 and just make it that. Yeah, what is digital marketing? So what? No, I don't want to add any structure, so I'll close this. Come on, I'll just delete this that I've added. Then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a text editor right here. So in this text editor right here, this is going to have the text to this question, okay, or the answer to this question. So now what I need to do is to do the same for all these other ones, but I need to first close them, I think. Then I'll just duplicate them. Yeah, I think it's faster or easier that way. Yeah, so every time someone clicks, oh, there are only 2, let me add a 3rd one. Yep. So now you can change these questions. For example, I can copy this, and what I can do is I can just paste it in right here. So why should I die? Digital agency, blah 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 blah. You can add as many questions as you want, okay, and you can duplicate these in as many still questions as you want, but I'm just gonna keep them 3, yeah, for this case. So that's how it's looking. So what I can do is that I can just actually, let me see what to do with this. I can just actually copy this column, yeah, this inner column right here. Let me try pasting it here and I see what happens. So it doesn't look so nice. So what I'm gonna have to do is that I'm just gonna have to copy this, yeah, the widget itself, the accordion, and I'll just paste it right here. So now I think that has done a better job. Yeah, and while I'm still here, one thing I like to do is, let me add some padding to the left and the right, and so that's how it's looking. But I want to make this background white, so I'm going to click on this parent column outside and come under style, come under background, and just make it white. Okay, so now let me go back to this section right here. Then I just want to add a padding of like 100 pixels to the left and 1 to the right. Sorry, not 2000 but 100. So that's how it's looking. Okay, but this is for the general inquiries, so you can repeat the process for both of these by doing a very simple thing, just like this. Then all you have to do is to copy this widget right here, and just paste it in right here and right here. Okay, and once you're done, you click on this outer container and just make it white, just like this. So you can still do the same thing for this container right here. So the very first thing, you can also make this background white by clicking on background under style under white and make it white. Sorry, make it 2 columns, and just paste in those widgets and add respective questions for different categories. Okay, so now if I'm to update this, okay, you will realize that our website is actually looking quite nice. And I don't know why it isn't appearing, but let me refresh this one more time to see what is going on. Yep, so now they're appearing, and this is how it's looking. Now, you don't see the questions changing because they're the same questions, but let's make them different. Okay, so let's go under payments and try to get some questions. For example, under payments here, I can copy this, and I'll select this and press Ctrl C. I'll copy this, and I'll copy this. So I'll go under here and start manipulating this. Okay, let me see Windows V, what services. I'll go under here and I'll just replace these. Go under here, come on, and I just replace these. Okay, so if I click update, you will find that if I'm to scroll down once again, now that this question changed, but I think we only changed one. Let me change these questions so that you guys can see the difference. Just a minute. So now I've made some changes to the questions, and this is how they are looking. But you can customize them depending on your business needs. Okay, so now let's move forward to creating the pricing section. So now to add a pricing section, what you're gonna do is to scroll down and add a container like that is bottom facing, that is vertical. Then I would like to copy this and just paste it in right here. Then I'll say pricing. Okay, and below this I want to create another section, and I think this time round we can add a 2-column layout. And I think I can duplicate it to make it 3 columns, just like that. And on this first one, what I can do is that I can click on this plus icon and call it pricing or price table. Search for price table. So now here is where you have the pricing table already made for you. So the very first thing is to enter the title. So this is called, I can call it a launch plan. You can call it starter, beginner, whatever you'd like. But I'll call it the launch plan. And the description may be, I'll say something like for small, or maybe for startup, for new startups, something like that. Then we go under pricing. Let's say it's $4.99. It's a monthly fee. So you can change this from yearly or monthly. But I'll rather keep it monthly. For now. Then under features, maybe the monthly plan you offer SEO, you offer email marketing. Okay. Then you offer maybe social media management. Some people call it SMM management. What else? Maybe you offer, I'll duplicate this. Maybe say you offer analytics. Something like that. Then under features, you have the footer. And you can say maybe the call to action here is get started. or buy now or order now, anything that works for you really. But I'd rather call this get started. Then I'll just remove this text. Yeah. So basically this is how it looks. So under the ribbon, I think I'm gonna turn that off for now. Then I'll go under style. Okay. Then I'll start editing these. Okay. To make sure that they look something like this. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to make this background really transparent. Okay. Then click on the header. Then the title can be our gray text color. Where did we save that? All right. Then the subtitle, still it can be gray, I think. And the price can be black or gray. I think that would be fine. Typography, pop-ins, just fine. And let me see how everything is looking. Yeah. So this can be bolder by making it something like 900. Yeah. So that looks nice. Then the typography for the period, it can be gray, I think. Then these features right here, the color of the text can be actually black. Make sure they are more emphasized, something like that. And when you scroll down to the footer, okay, there are multiple settings right here, but the background can be blue for the button, and the border radius of 25, and I don't need it underlined. So under typography, in the decoration, just say none, just keep it like that. Okay, so when you take a look at this is how the plan is looking. But then let me see if there are any other settings that we have missed out. For example, the header, there's nothing that we've missed out. On editing, the pricing section, that is fine. The currency symbol can actually be made larger or smaller, but I think that's fine. Yeah, that looks fine. Then the width of the features, I think the weight of the divider, it's just fine being there, and that looks fine. So now what we're gonna do is I want to add a border to it. Yeah, so I'm gonna click on this column right here. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come under style and border. I'm gonna make a box shadow, sort of something like that. And I don't want it to be so heavy. Yeah. But then the border radius can also be sort of like 8 pixels. And that's how it's looking. But then I want to make the box shadow color to be sort of bluish. So I drag this slider in between here. And let's see what we have right now. Not the best, but let me improve the weight sort of, or the transparency of the border. So under the box shadow, we'll just bump it up a little bit, then make the horizontal, make the horizontal shadow stick out just a little bit, and the vertical shadow stick out a little bit. I think I'll just make this black to view it very well, and I'll drag this sort of around here, in this sort of around here, so the black can be that strong and the spread can be just a little, something like this. Yeah, so I think that this looks a little bit better, though the shadows are still so strong. So what I'm gonna do is I need to reduce on the spread just a little bit, Okay, and the blur can be increased just a little bit. Okay, so I think this now looks better, more perfect. Now what I'm gonna do is I am gonna copy this widget right here and just place it on the right. Okay, then this is, we can rename this to the scale plan, and maybe this is 1500 pricing. Maybe, yeah, it can be 1500 over 14.99, and you can change this to future different whatever. Maybe you can say all, let me see what I said right here, all services from the growth plan, something like this. Yeah, all services from the growth plan. Yeah, so it can look like that. Then maybe this can be 1000. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll copy this because now we applied a border to this column. Maybe I can paste the style right here so that this has the same kind of effect. Yeah, and probably I can do the same thing. I can paste the style here, then also copy this widget and paste it right here. So maybe you can call this the growth plan. So let's say we want most, sorry about that guys, we want the most let me take a look. We want the most users to kind of purchase this the most. Okay, so what we can do actually, we can increase this header size, okay, to something like this to make it more visible, and we can actually make it more weightier. Okay, so we can copy this and just paste the style. Yeah, we can paste the style. I think that looks better. So now the pricing, for example, okay, in the description, for example, maybe we can be for medium-sized business, medium-sized businesses, something like this. Okay, maybe the pricing is $9.99. Yeah, and it's a monthly fee. So maybe you offer all services from the launch plan plus these extras that you can customize on your own, obviously. So I just paste that in. So let's say I want to change this, for example. I want to change this background to blue. Where is that blue that we saved in the globals? All right. So now, and let's make sure there is a curve to, yeah, I want it curved like that. It's 19 pixels. That is fine. So now I'm gonna click on this growth plan, go under style, and what I need to do is to come under advanced. There is a background section right here. Let me see if I can make it a little bit transparent. Yeah, all the way down. I think that's better. So I can click on the style element once again. Then I can just make everything in this section to a white color. Yeah. So everything in this section, I'm just gonna make it white. The fractional part, the period, it's gonna be white. And the features, on the features, the color is gonna be white. And the button, sorry, the background color of the button is gonna be white. Then the text color, I think, can be black. Yeah. So taking a look at how this is looking, let me preview this. Oh, good. Yeah. So I think this looks a little bit better. Yeah. So now what we are gonna do is let me copy this style. I'm not seeing the shadow right here that I applied. Okay, it's now displaying. But now let me click on this section right here, go under advanced, and I'm just gonna apply a margin or a padding to the left. Let me apply a 50 pixel margin to the left and to the right. Yeah. Then I think that would be fine. Then for these columns, I'll apply sorry, let me just apply 10 pixel margin from all sides, or we can do actually 20. Yeah, that would be fine. So copy, and let's paste the style to this right one. Then for this one, I'll just have to apply it manually in the middle to 20. So when you preview this, if I'm to update this once again, and I take a look at how the pricing looks for the monthly, I think that looks quite awesome. Okay. So now the next thing we have to do is to create one for the yearly plan. So to do that, let me save this as a template. Okay. And I'm gonna call this monthly plan. All right. So that is saved as a template. Yeah. So we can actually delete this and edit this. Yeah. So let's say for the yearly now, maybe they are paying, let's go to content for the launch plan. The pricing, maybe they're paying maybe $7.99. And these people are paying for the growth plan, maybe the pricing is something like this. Okay. And maybe for the scale plan, the pricing is maybe $2,499. Yeah. So this is a yearly pricing. Okay. So, and you can change these figures, so the periods to yearly. Yeah, you shouldn't forget that. Okay. And you can change this to yearly 2, then you can also change this to yearly. Okay. So now let me show one important thing that we need to do before I actually proceed. So now that we've created all these, we need to actually create plans in WooCommerce where people can actually come and place their orders. Okay. So now we have the launch plan, the growth plan, and the scale plan for the yearly and monthly. Yeah. So that makes it 6 plans. Okay. So now to create the 6 plans, you have to go back to your dashboard, come to WooCommerce. Okay. You don't need to actually come to WooCommerce. Let's go back a bit. Come to products and click on add new. Then what you're gonna do, for example, we can create a launch plan yearly. Okay. Then what we can do is that we can make it a virtual product and a downloadable product. Okay. Then what we can do is that we can make it the yearly one was $7.99. Okay. And we can just publish that. Okay. Then you can create one for the monthly plan. For example, you can still click on add new product. Maybe for this time round, you want to create the growth plan for the, where is our home tab? For the yearly plan, which is 1999. And you can come growth plan yearly, and make sure virtual is selected and downloadable is selected, and make this 1999. Okay, then once you're done, just click publish. Okay, so now what you can actually do with these, you can actually add files here. For example, if I click on add file, it can be like a contract sort of that your customers can buy. So you can just embed it directly here. Yeah, maybe they need to sign a few agreements, or you can add a purchase notice. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you can just embed it in right here, so that when they buy, they get. For example, let me just upload a PDF file that I can show you guys. Now, for example, let me see if I can find, for example, let's say this is a contract file. Yeah, I can easily add it to this yearly growth plan. Okay, then I can make the file maybe contract file. Yeah, but it can be anything. So make sure you can click update, and that would be fine. So once you've added these plans for all the 6 products, all the 6 plans, you need to come under cart flows here, and then come to store checkout. Then we need to create a checkout. Okay, so then hit create checkout. Now there's so many checkout pages, and you can customize them to any. Yeah, some are premium, some are free, but we can maybe select these and just click import funnel. Okay, and once everything is done, we can take a look at how they're looking. Okay, so we have 2 checkouts so far, so you can right click on these and take a look at how they're looking. Yeah, so this is the thank you page. Yeah, it is editable in Elementor. Then this is the cart page. Yeah, I mean the checkout page, but it's empty for now. Okay, so let's customize these and we shall come back later. So go under funnels. Okay, then hit on create funnel, and we're gonna create a funnel of any of these funnels that they're offering. Then I'm gonna click on funnel, but you can click on live preview to preview it, or can just import it. And I'm gonna call this the growth plan yearly. So it gets created, and what happens is that you have now the growth plan yearly. It has a store checkout and a store thank you. Okay, so you can edit this step by right clicking on it. So it opens up Elementor to edit actually the checkout page. Yeah, and this is how it's looking. Yeah, so you can edit your logo right here, and you add something like, come on, can't find my logo, but should be right here. You can add your logo right here. This I advise you leave it here. Then you can leave some information, for example, like you will receive contract files after purchase. Okay, something like this. So these FAQ questions, you can either remove them or add more questions, like I showed you how to create the FAQ page in the home page. Yeah, you can have these pages of the privacy policy and everything, and yeah, so you can add some extra information down here, but I'm not gonna go so deep into details about that. But one important setting is that when you come back here, is you need to click on settings right here and add products to this funnel. So I'm gonna search for the growth plan yearly here and add the product. Okay, and once I've added the product, I'm gonna click save settings. Okay, so once I preview this once again, I want to see if there will be products in this. Okay, it's saying no product is selected from this checkout settings, from checkout meta setting and continue. Yeah, but now you'll notice that the growth plan has been added. Yeah, and the subtotal and the total have been computed, and the customer can always add in their billing information right here, and they can purchase their stuff. Okay, so all you need to do is to copy this link right here, go to your growth plan where there is get started. Okay, for example, right here, come under features, come under footer, where there's get started, the link, replace it with this funnel link that leads to this checkout. So when someone clicks update, for example, and let's say they order this by clicking on this get started, then they'll get redirected to this this page right here. It has a growth plan and everything selected. Yeah, so this logo is not yet updated, but now let me see. You can click on edit funnel right here. Then I think I'll close these two. Oh, I hadn't updated. I think I'll just leave. Okay, then I'll right click on it and click on open new tab once again, and this will it. And this is the image that I'll be using. So I've uploaded it and I'm gonna hit select. It's too big, so I'm gonna go under its style. Make sure pixels are selected. Okay, it's important. Then just make it look like this. And guys, remember we forgot to add the 60 pixel margin to the top, but it's always important. You have to keep things looking smart. So since this is the last section, I'll add 60 to the top and 60 to the bottom. Then I'll add this text of not hesitating to call us EM. And I will come here, add a heading. Okay. Then I'll paste in my text. And what I will do is that I'll make it black. And the typography can be 900. No, 800 would do. So I'll keep it 36. Yeah, but I want to break it up from around here. Okay, then I'll just have to center it. Great. Then the color, let's make it green. Yeah, it's too harsh. So I'll add some text right here. For example, if I'm to drag the text editor and I throw in my text, paste it in, paste as plain text and center it like that. Then to the bottom, I'll add a button. And there's a problem in this text. So I'll go under the content and I'll make sure there's no space to the end. Then click on this button and it's gonna say contact us, and maybe you should redirect to the contact page. Okay, then center it and make the background color be blue and the border radius to be 25. Yep. So I want to click on this text right here, command advanced, and to the bottom apply negative margin just to pull this button closer to it and update that. And if we preview that, that's how it's looking. Yeah. So I think I'm comfortable with this home page. It's looking quite nice. Okay, but let's see how good it looks on mobile. Okay, so mobile, let's see how things are looking. So this doesn't look good. Come on, this doesn't look good. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on it, come on advanced, and let's just apply a padding of like 20. I think 20 should. Now something is going all right. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we need to reduce the size of this typography to something like, let's drag it up a little bit. Yep, and let's just center it. Come on guys. So I think that would be fine. This style it, center it. For this I can also center it. For this I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna center them like this. Yeah, I think that would be all right. But I have a challenge here. I'm gonna click this and put it above this text right here. And to do that, click on this column right here, come to advanced and order, make it start. Yeah. Then come to this section right here, click on it, because now I want to add some space to the bottom, and then link the values. And for the bottom, make it, I think, 100. Okay. Same to the top. All right. So I think that looks better. Yeah. Then this also needs to change to something like, let me try to reduce it. Yeah. So I'm gonna copy this and paste the style to every heading. So I'll paste the style to every heading. Okay, that looks, we're gonna work on that, guys. We're gonna work on that, and we're gonna fix everything up here. All right, let me just paste the style to look something much better. So now that looks fine. The services look fine. Why choosers looks fine. This doesn't look fine. Okay, so click on it, go and advanced, and it's a padding causing all these problems. Okay, what we can do, so now I just click update. Remember guys to click update, and I think I'm gonna add, let's see, a 10. If I'm to link that, oh, something is not going on as quite. Let's undo that. Let's make it 0. Yeah, because let me just update this and preview it first. Okay, so now it's looking a little bit much neater, and we can reduce on this text. Let's just copy this and get the style and just paste the style right here, and click on this white choosers. Let's just make it centered. So that looks fine. Pricing tables do not look fine. Yeah. So These content templates, the pricing tables are also not looking fine, but we're gonna work on it. Let's handle this testimonial. Come to the advanced section and link that. So the top can be 100 and the bottom can be 100. Yeah, so I think that's fine. Now they look a little bit much more cleaner. This looks quite nice, but we can reduce on this text size, I think. Yeah, something like that. So everything looks neat. So let's handle these pricing tables. Okay, so to handle them, what we're gonna do is we are gonna come to the dashboard and come under templates. Okay, let's open up the yearly plan. Let me see yearly plan and click on, I want to edit it, so let me just click on edit and click on edit with Elementor. Okay, so to make it mobile friendly, what you need to do is to turn on the mobile view, something like this. So click on this section, come under advanced, and first remove the padding. Okay, so once you remove the padding, everything becomes just fine. So you can actually exit out of this. Okay, then come to the templates again. We've worked on the yearly, but now let's edit the monthly and click on edit with Elementor. Elementor opens up. So we are gonna also fix this. And one way to do that, I just shown you, is to go under responsive. So you can make sure the tablet is also edited. Yeah. So you can come on advanced and also unlink this. Okay. Then you can go under mobile, and once they're unlinked, it will look just fine. Then click and update that. So now what we are gonna have to do is to come back to this Elementor and just, update it and see how it looks. Sorry, this page right here, and update it. So we close this one right here. So now it's done updating, and let's turn on the mobile view and we see how things are looking. And you're gonna click on mobile, and now they look a little bit better. Though what we can do is that we can come under advanced and just turn off these paddings to make them look more neat. Okay, so I think that's better. So every time someone turns on the yearly plan, it will still display well, though it can't toggle the template right now. Okay, but yeah, so now everything looks nice for the home page. You can make changes to the tablet mode, but I think it looks just fine, though this isn't looking fine for it. But what we can do is we can come right here, and should we reduce the text size of this? I think that can work. But yep, so let's try and reduce that. And actually what I'm gonna do is I can come under advanced and just uncheck this. I'll give it a top margin of still 100. It's just fine. But then we'll do 20/20 to the left and to the right, and that looks just fine. Okay, so let's save this, and then we exit out of this, or we can preview the changes first, and that looks fine. So now we're gonna work first and create the header plus the footer, and we'll be on our way. So let's close this, then go to the dashboard, and what we can do to create the header, the custom header, come under templates, under Elementor. Yeah, go to theme builder, and what we're gonna do, I think, if you have nothing, appearing right here. You can click on add new, click on header, and it's gonna open up Elementor. Then you can start working on your header. So it has some pre-built headers, but I wanted to show you guys how to create a custom one. Okay, and the way to do that is we're gonna be referring to this header right here. Yeah. So let's create first 2 columns, and on the left right here we're gonna have some contact information. So I'm gonna use an icon list. Come on, and add it right here. But before I actually do anything, let me click on this section right here and come under style, give it a background of gray here, and go under the advanced tab and just turn off the paddings. Okay, then come under layout and make sure the column gaps are 0. Okay, then do the same thing for these columns by turning off the paddings. Okay, still also this column, you turn off the padding, so you're handling the values. Then click on this list icon that you're working with, come and make it inline. Okay, so the first element you're working with, you're going to change this icon right here to a phone. Okay, and I'm going to insert this text right here of the phone number that I have right here. Then for the next part, I'm going to use a map pin. So let me search for map, and I'm going to copy in this location. Okay, and it's a location that I'll be using right here. Then I'm just going to delete this third one because I don't need it. So go under style, the icon, I want to make them green. Okay, then the text, I actually want to make it this text white color, and the size, the typography, I think 14 or 12 should do. 12 or 14 should do. Where can we go? Let's go with 13 maybe. Then on the right hand side, okay, what we can do with the right hand side is that we can add some social icons like that. Okay, then instead of them using the official color, we can actually first change them to circle, the shape. Then instead of using the official color, we can set a custom color. So the secondary color can be obviously the green accent, the green, and the primary color, let's just make it transparent. Okay, so we add a border to it by setting the border type to solid, make it 1 pixel, and also make it green. Okay, and scroll up and just play around with the size, but I think that looks fine. Okay, that should look fine. 16 pixels, that should look fine. So click on this section right here, come and advance to the top and bottom. We're gonna add a margin of 8 pixels. Should 8 be enough? Let's add 5. 5 to the top and 5 to the bottom. Then still, while clicking on this section right here, come under layout and just make it centered. Yeah, so everything is on the same line. Okay, so if I'm to preview this, so they're telling me to add a condition and I want it to be displayed on the entire website. Okay, so I'll click save and close. All right, so when I preview it, okay, this is how it's looking. Okay, so I think that looks fine for now. Now that this part is done, we need to create this nav menu right here. Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna go to the dashboard and under appearance, under menus, okay, we are gonna create a menu. Okay, so You can name it anything, main menu, my menu, anything that you want, but make sure primary is selected and click on create menu. Okay, so now we're gonna add, if you go to view all, we're gonna add home. What else can we add? The about, the contact, FAQ, pricing, projects, services. Let's add that. So we have the home. These are many. Okay, services. I'm gonna remove contact us because it's gonna be on the button, so I'll remove it. FAQ, pricing, projects, yeah, something like that. So now let's click save menu, and we can't actually view this menu right now, yeah, but when we're to view it, let's come back on the Elementor, then click on this flexbox, add 3 columns. I think like this. It would have been 1 column. Yeah, let's try actually using 1 column. Yeah, maybe it would work, maybe it wouldn't, but yeah. So this, make sure this column, actually let me redo it again so that you see we're using this directional column. Okay, then come to its style, and what you're gonna do is change the background color to this gray right here. So the very first thing that I'm gonna add, okay, is an image. Okay, so let me search for image, and this is a logo that I will be adding, and it's quite too big, so its width, I'm going to change it to pixels and just make it something like that. Okay, then the next thing that I'm going to add is going to be a navigation menu. It's called a nav menu by R, Royal Add-Ons for Elementor. Then click and just place it next to this logo. I think the words are in black, so let's quickly change that to white. For the menu items, the text color, we'll make that to white. And under typography, let's just make the family Poppins. I know it's already Poppins, yeah, but we can change the weight to something like normal or even light. Transform it to uppercase, and let's just make it 13 pixels. And what we can do is that we can actually increase this data spacing to something like 2 pixels. Yeah, and that looks fine for me. Okay, however, when someone hovers over them, I want it to turn green, something like this. Then I want that pointer at the bottom. Yeah, and I feel that the text color is kind of dull. Let me just bump it up and just make it a little brighter. Okay, so I don't want that pointer, so to remove it, they should have a setting somewhere which I cannot find right now, but I'm gonna find it. So the over effect under menu items says underline, but I'm gonna say none, so that looks better. Then on the end, I want to add a button. Yeah, on the end, actually it's not allowing me to do that, but what I can do is I'll just drag this to here. All right, so now I'm gonna click on it and say book appointment, and it's gonna just link back to the contact page. Okay, something like that. Now let's go under style and change the color to blue. Yeah, then the border radius can be 25. All right, so publish this. So when you click preview, okay, this is how it's looking. It's not the best looking header because stuff is not in line, and to make sure it's in line, click on this section right here, come under layout and click center. Okay, so when you publish that, then it's gonna look like this. Okay, but now the items are not so spaced out, so you can justify this content to make it space around, and once it's spaced around, you can see that now it looks a little bit better. Okay, then I think what I'm left to do is I want to add something. Yeah, so make sure this container is selected, under style, under border, and a border type. You can make it solid. Make sure this is unlinked. So add a border solid to the top of 1 pixel, and just add a dull color, something like this. Okay, but this might not be so visible. And add something like this. So if I update that and take a look, so there is this thin line, something like that, going around on top, which is quite looking nice. Then I feel like this text is small, so I'm gonna go under the menu items, under typography, and just make it 14 pixels. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so and this is how it's looking, but then there's something that is still off. Yeah, so click on this section right here. Okay, then go under advanced and turn off the padding. Yeah, I'll give it a custom padding of around 10 pixels to the top and 10 to the bottom. If that's too big, I'll reduce it. Yeah, well, it hasn't made a very huge difference, so I think I'll do 5 to 5. Okay, so let's see how that looks. I think that looks cleaner. Yeah, so the other thing that I'm going to do, I'm so sorry for the background noise, a lot of choppers are passing nearby. And let's see, if you take a look at this section, we are having it, with this shadow casting under. So to do that, first, I want to go under style while this section is selected, the container, come under border, come under border box shadow, and apply shadow. Make sure the vertical is not so big, close to 1 or 2, 3. Okay, I think 1 or 2 could do. Okay, let's keep it 3. Okay, then the blur can spread but not so much, and the spread itself can be of around, let's just make it equivalent to the vertical setting. Okay, so when you take a look at that, it looks like that, but I want to go to the home page and test out how everything's looking. So it's not visible on the home page, and one way to fix that is come under the advanced setting and make sure the Z index of the header is just give it 100. Okay, so click on the home page once again, and this is how it's looking. I feel like the spread is too strong, so I'm gonna come under style, under border, under the box shadow. Let's reduce the spread, the blur, and refresh it once again and take a look. I think this looks cleaner. However, this image needs to link back to the home page, so I'm going to copy the link address, click on this image and go to content, change the link type from none to custom URL, and paste the link. Okay, so now that looks just fine. However, this may not be the case for the tablet mode. This doesn't look so nice. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hide this button right here. So I'll go under advanced and I'll hide it. So under responsiveness, I'll hide it on tablet and mobile. Okay, so when someone is viewing the website on mobile, it's gonna look like this. Okay, then on mobile, okay, it's gonna look like this. So this is hidden, but let me click on it, go under advanced under responsiveness, and let's no sorry I'll turn all these off so that it displays well. Then all right, so we have this icon right here that is in still a dull color. So under toggle button, let's just make it white. Okay, or it can be green. Yeah, let's be consistent. And when someone hovers over it, let it just turn to white. Okay, so when someone clicks on it, then the menu displays like this. So when you click on mobile menu, okay, let's just make the background color to be the gray, and the text color can be text white. So when someone clicks on this, it displays something like this. Yeah, so when they hover, okay, I want the background to be green. Okay, something like that. So I think that is neat enough. Yeah, so I'll click and update that. So this is how it is looking, but now it's time to add a footer to the homepage and the entire website. So let's go back to the dashboard. I'll close this, then come on the templates and the theme builder. Okay, we're gonna create a footer. So select a footer and click add new. And what it's gonna do, it's gonna open up Elementor, and we'll close this up. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna click on this for add-ons. They have blocks and sections that you can use for your website. So let's say we will need a section. Under sections, we go to footer, something like this. We can add in a custom footer. For example, let's see, we can add in something like this. This really looks nice. Or hold on, what did we do? We can go back into sections and select footer. Then we can select any footer that we wish to add to our page. So there are some free ones, as you can see here, and some premium ones. Okay, but to make things, keep them simple, let me use this one. So insert that into the page by clicking on insert, and it's gonna display something like this. Yeah, so if you don't need a section, inserted it twice, delete. All right, let me click and just delete some of these. Yeah, and I don't think I need this section also. So here we have it. So you can replace these with any of your logos. For example, mine is that color, and I'll replace this one too. Yeah, and I will increase its size by increasing the image width. I can change this color, okay, to something like gray. And sorry, I make it classic first and make it gray. And I can make this text, of Poppins instead of Lato, just to match the entire website. And the color can be this text white. So I can copy, and I just, paste this. I just keep pasting this style, paste style to all these. Okay, so you can actually change this to maybe pages or services. Let's make it pages, and you can change this to maybe services. So you can actually link the services page. Services page, and maybe this is contact. You can link it to the contact page. Okay, something like that. Yeah, and you can edit this copyright, yeah, to something I may be created by, it can be your name or something that you'd like. Come to its style and just change the color to text white. So you can do the same for all these. Yeah, the icon, you can make it, for example, blue, Then you can make the content sort of this text color that we're having here, then a description, a text color that we're having here. Then you can copy and just, paste the style, and everything, is easy to, play around with and manipulate. Okay. So I'll change this to a smaller letter to make everything look clean. And as always, yeah. So this is how the footer is looking. So you can also edit this call now. You can adjust the phone number. You can also adjust the color to match the entire website theme. Okay. So I think that looks just fine. Then I'll click publish. Ask me for the condition, and I want to say publish to the entire site, and click on save and close. Okay. So when I preview this page and I take a look, for example, at the home page, you will see that this is how it's looking. Okay. So maybe what we can do, these don't look nice for me. You can remove them, yeah, or keep them, yeah. But I think now it just looks nice. Okay. Just looks nice. Okay. So now we need to create the About Us page, the projects page, the services page, the FAQ page, and the pricing page. Okay. So let's start off with the pricing page, but I'm going to walk through these faster, guys. So if I take a look at the home page, I want to extract the pricing section and maybe the call to action section. So to do that, let me click on edit with Elementor. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll down to the pricing section and right click on this section and click on save. I'll cancel that. Right click on it and click on save as a template. And we're going to call this a pricing template, maybe pricing. Let's just call it pricing. Then what I'm going to do next, I'm going to close this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this and also save this as a template. And I'm going to call it CTA, which means call to action. And the other sections that I'll be reusing are maybe the testimonial section. For example, I'll click save as a template and testimonial. Okay, I'll save that and I'll close that. Then I will also save the FAQ page. I'll click on save as a template and I'll say FAQ. Okay, let's see if there is any other section that we need, that we may reuse. There's none. So let's go back to the pricing and click on edit page. And once we're here, we're going to click on edit with Elementor, and Elementor will open up. So the pricing section is open. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to create a section like this. Okay. Then I'm going to give it a background of gray. Okay. Then under the shape divider, I'm going to use a triangle, but it's going to be inverted. Okay. Should it be inverted or not? Okay, it's on the top, but I don't want anything at the top. I want it at the bottom. Sorry. Under shape divider bottom. Now I want a triangle, and it should be inverted. Yes, it should be 50 pixels. Sorry, it should be 50 pixels of height, and the margin should be, I think, 70 to the bottom. Yeah. So under here, I think even to the top, I think I'll add some margin, some padding, sorry, of 70. And right here, I'll add some text of, let's say, if this is called pricing, and let's just make it white and have it centered, and we make the weight 900. Okay, let's bump up this text size, something like this, and I think this looks just fine. So now let's import our template of pricing. So under templates, I'm gonna insert something called pricing, which is right here. And once it's loaded up, it's gonna display like this. But remember, we need to add some padding to the top or some margin. So let's do a 60 to the top. That should be fine. Then I don't think this is necessary, so I'm gonna delete this. Oh, actually I can have it. Maybe we can say our pricing plans, maybe. All right, and below it we can add the call to action, this CTA right here, and that would look as nice as that. Yep. So now if you were to take a preview of how this looks on desk, mobile, tablet, and mobile, looks something like this. So this can be reduced from its size to make it look a little bit smaller, and I can save this as also a template to be reused, and I can call this the header. I think that would be perfectly fine, and I'll close this. So because this looks quite nice, I think I'm just going to publish it. This is already done, and I'll publish that. So now if I take a preview on how it's looking on the desktop version, that looks quite good. So for the FAQ page, I'll do the same thing. I'll click on edit page, then I'll click on edit with Elementor. So then Elementor will pop up. Then I'll use my templates that I've already created. I'll insert the heading. Then I'll just change this to maybe FAQ. Then I'll use the FAQ template that I already exported. I'll insert it into this section right here. So it's looking good. Then lastly, I'll add a call to action that I already saved up, and it is right here. So I'm going to click insert, okay. And when you scroll down, everything just looks good. So let me publish that and preview the changes. And this is how it looks. So that is nice. And let's work on the services page. For the services page, you're going to click on edit page. So we are going to click on edit with Elementor, and we're going to import a template of the header, and we can call this services, and below we can create just a section to briefly talk about the services. We can use a 60 top margin, okay, and then a heading of maybe saying what we offer, something like that. Center it, give it a gray text kind of color. Then for the weight, it can actually be something like 800 pixels. 800, and yeah, that looks quite fine. Then the size can ultimately be something like 36. So when you take a look at, let me see, we can have some dummy text, something like that, and let's drag it in and select everything. I'll paste as a plain text, go to style and center it, and that's how it's looking. So under that we can have another section. I think this can be 4 columns. Okay, so now within these 4 columns, the very first thing you're going to add is maybe an icon. Come on, I'm going to search for an icon. icon, and let's see if you had to update this to something, maybe maybe let's say link. Does link have? Okay, all right, and we can change this to something like blue that we use. In the size can be that small. I think that's okay. So when you take a look, for example, if we get SEO optimization, and we get this heading, place it under here, and paste in this text, and just make it gray. I think that should do. Then the typography, the size can be around 20, 22. I think that would be fine. Then below it, we can add some paragraphs using a text editor. So I just place it under here. Then I just copy this text, and it was the same lorem some text. That's fine. So I'll just duplicate this and drag it under here. Then I'll call this features. Okay. Then instead of it being 20 something, let's just make it a little bit smaller, like 20. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Then I would prefer to drag it up, okay, using a margin top, negative margin, closer to that part right there, okay, or not so close. Let me just reduce it sort of a little bit to somewhere here, okay. Then under it, I'm going to add a list icon. So let's add a list, an icon list. Okay, I just want it under it. Then it's going to have something like this. Influence outreach campaigns. I'll copy that. I'll copy that. Maybe these are the services, the features of the services that you offer. So I'll first delete these two. Then I will keep on adding these. For example, backlinking. And I will duplicate that. Come on, duplicate. And this can be conversion rate optimization. Duplicate that. And campaign refinement. Then I'll duplicate that. What else can we? Outreach. Yeah, something like that. Okay, that looks good. Then we can add a button below it to say get started. And where is the button? Right under here. And we can say get started. Get started. And this can link to the pricing page. Pricing page. What is going on? Pricing. All right. So now we can go under style and come to color, make it blue. Okay. And you can actually make the border radius a little bit rounded, not so much, but then make it justified. Okay. So now we can duplicate this column. Duplicate it, I think, 2 more times. If I'm to right click on it again, or this one, I can duplicate it. Then I think what I will do with this, just delete them. Yep, so that I have only 3 of them that are left right here. But then I have some extra space that is left over here, and I don't understand where it's coming from. Yep, I do not understand where it's coming from. So I'll just undo this, then I'll delete this column, and it's still happening. And okay, I think we'll fix it by doing, I understand why. It was originally, okay, let's make it 33%. And this can be 33. and this can be 33. All right, so I think that looks better. I'll click on this section and go under the advanced tab. Make sure there's no padding to it. All right, so that looks fine. Then this text right here needs to be 100 because I don't know why. All right, now it's closer the way I want it to be. So I just duplicate this. Okay, then I can keep on changing these to maybe marketing. So maybe this can be automation, and this can be web design, and maybe this can be logo design, and maybe another service could be content creation. Okay, something like that. So the features will vary depending on what you guys offer, but even these icons, you can easily manipulate them to anything that you'd like that matches. For example, if you're dealing with automation, you might deal with something like a file, yeah, something like that. Logo design, yeah, basically any someone drawing a logo. Web design, probably you need a computer or something, but it can be a code file. Content creation, maybe something like this, a signature or something. Okay, so basically that's how you'd handle that. Alternatively, under these sections, you can add in like something like a pricing section. Yeah, just so when your users can see the service, they can immediately place their orders and purchases. Yeah, with your business. And what I like to do is right here, I'll add some spacing to the top margin of 60. Yeah. Then as always, I think I'm gonna add CTA. Okay. Yeah, something like this. And this page should look nice on desktop and on mobile. Okay. So now let's take a look at the mobile view. All right. So I think this looks just fine and no problem whatsoever. So I'm gonna update that and preview it one more time, and that looks just nice. So let's move on to the projects. So I'll go back just one step and I show you guys what I did. So for the projects page, what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on edit page. Okay. Then what you're gonna do is gonna click on edit with Elementor. And once Elementor is open, the very first thing we need to do is we need to make the entire page gray. So click on settings and click on style, background type, color. Let's make it gray. Okay. So the very first thing I want to insert is a bottom facing arrow, just like this. And I just want to throw here a heading and just call it project details. All right. So I'll center that, make it white. Okay. Then a typography, I just want to make it bolder to something like 800. Then the size, it can be as big as 55 or 40 something. Let's just keep it 40 guys. Okay. So then we make something like this. Okay. So for now, let's just use 2 columns. So on the left hand side right here, I'm going to add an image. Then this image is something that I'm going to upload right now. Let me see if you go back. I think I can use this image and this image and probably this image. No. Let me use those two. They should demonstrate the purpose clearly. And something like this. Okay. So going under its style, maybe we can give it a border radius of something like not a negative one. Probably we need a positive one. There is no negative border radius. Something like 20 should do the job. Okay, that looks nice. Then on the right hand side here, we're gonna create something like this. So we have a title. Okay, then we have a description of the project. That's the main features of the project. Okay, so to do that, okay, I'm gonna click on this plus, add a heading. Okay, then I'm just gonna paste in social media engagement, which is our title of the project. Style it, I want to give it a text color of white. Then below it, I want to throw in a description. Okay, something like that. So this description of the project, come on, it's just going to be also a little bit white, like that. Then once you scroll down, we need some features of the project. Okay, so now we're going to add, I think, let me close this, it's confusing me. We're going to add a list icon, an icon list, sorry, just below this. And let's first make this text white. Okay, then the icons can be green or blue. Do you keep them green or blue? Yes, let's do green. And for this list item, the very first thing, maybe we did content marketing. Marketing, maybe is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization. And maybe we also did some website design. Okay, web design. Then just under that, we can place a button like this. And maybe you can say view project. It could be an Instagram page that you want to link to. Okay, so you just place the link right here. Then to style this button, give it a color of blue and a border radius of something like 25 pixels. So I'll take a look at how everything is looking. So this is how it's looking. However, it's looking far different from this. So I need to reduce the gaps between this text right here. So I'm going to apply a negative top margin. Okay. Then also negative bottom margin to it. So that things are close. Yeah. So that's how it's looking. I don't want it to the top. I want everything to be in the middle. So I'm going to click on this section. Then I'm going to click on center. And that's how it's going to be looking. Okay. So now the next thing we have to do is to duplicate this. So I can duplicate it one time. All right. So it doesn't have any space. So I think I'll just delete this first. Then create some spacing, 60 to the bottom and 60 to the top. Or just 60 to the top. Sorry about that. And link them. Or link them again. And just do 0. Then to the top, you do a 60 to the top. Something like that. And maybe a 60 to the bottom also. Just maybe. All right. So now let me just duplicate. Or before I duplicate, I would rather take a look at how it's looking. Maybe I want to make it squeezed in somehow. So let's click on this section. And under padding, let's apply some padding over 100 or 70 to the left and 70 to the right. Something like this. Yeah. And still, I also want to apply some margin to the top of 60. Yep, that looks better. So I'm gonna duplicate this one time and 2 times. So I don't want it to be in one sequential order like this. Yeah, I want it to be alternating. So what I can do is to click on this section or column right here and go under advanced and click on order and make it start. Yeah. So this project can be a web design. Can mention the company, the title, and this can be maybe digital marketing, something like that. Yep, depending on what you like. So you can customize these images. They don't have to be the same images. The project thumbnail, yeah, can be different. Okay, yeah. So whatever you want, but I think this looks clean enough. Okay, so what you can do is actually I want to put some dividers between these pages. So let me just put a divider. So I'm gonna search for divider, something like this. Then width, it doesn't have to be 100%, but its color is important to be something like this. So it has to be centered here. So I think that looks just fine. And I'm gonna duplicate it and just drag it and place it. No, not inside there, but under. Oh, come on. I think I'll just add section just like this and get this and just drag it into this section. Okay, I think that looks better. So when you take a look at it in the mobile view, tablet, sorry, that looks fine. Then the project details page in the mobile view looks so bad. So let's try to reduce this size. And the padding, I'm just gonna kill it from the left. And maybe I'll add like 10 left and right. Yeah. So this can be centered. This has to be centered. Okay. Then this under style can also be centered, but unlike it. But then the button can be justified for mobile. Okay. But I also want to keep this left aligned, even the text left aligned. Come on. Yeah. So I think that looks fine. Okay. So what I'll do is that I'll copy this style and paste it for this column right here. Okay. And paste it for this section right here. Sorry. Yeah. So that looks just fine. So I'll copy the style of this button and paste it right here. Paste the style right here. And paste the style right here. So I think this order can go back by clicking on this. The order can be to the end. Yeah, so that the flow is consistent for mobile. Yeah. If I take this away, I think this looks a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, looks a little bit better. So now the services page is done, and I'm gonna click update and preview the changes, and that's how it's gonna look. So when you take a look at the about us page, it's gonna be the second last page you work on. I'm gonna click on edit page, then I'm gonna click on edit with Elementor. Then what I'm gonna do is let me import the header that we used last time. So I'm gonna insert it. Then I'm gonna call this about. Okay. Then I'm gonna add 2 sections right here, 2 columns. Sorry, you guys already know by now, 60 to the top, 60 to the bottom. Okay, then on the left right here, I'm just gonna add an image, and I'm gonna upload it, I think. And the image that I'll be using is of this lady right here. And once it's uploaded, I'm gonna hit select. Then on the right hand side, I'm just gonna place in some text. For example, the about us. So let me just paste in this text right here, something like this. We are growth partners. It can be green, it can be smaller font, something like this. Yeah, something like that. Then I can copy in this text. So actually I can just duplicate this. Then I just paste it in. I'll go right here, change this back to gray, and bump up the typography and make it weight here to something like 700, or actually I might go 900. All right. Then there's this text right here that I can add by clicking the text editor and dragging it over here, selecting everything and pasting the plain text. Then still what I can do right here is I make sure there's no space at the bottom. Then I can duplicate this, okay? Then just drag it under here. Maybe this lady is called Susan, and duplicate that, and I'll call her, let's say she's a CEO. CEO. Okay, so then I go under style and make this gray, go on advanced and give it a negative top margin to be close to Tammy Susan, just like that. So click on this section again and just make sure everything is centered. Okay, so it looks sort of like this. Okay, so now let's go under here and add some counters. No, I don't want to use a grid, that would be nice, but then I want to add 4 columns. Okay, but remember guys, we need 60 pixels to the top, but I think there's enough spacing. I think I should have added 60 to the top and 60 to the bottom here. So there is no need of adding 60 to the top right here. So let me click on this section and I want to add these counters right here. Okay, so I'm gonna search for count. Come on, for the counter, something like this. So maybe if we have 100k, the suffix of 100k, and the text would be customers. Then you come to the style, and for the number you can make it this green. The typography, pop-ins, but I want it somehow light to like extra thin. I don't know if that would do, but I think it looks, let's do 300. Okay, now so you have 100k customers, and I think I'll use a small k right here. All right, so that looks fine. So I'm just gonna copy this and I'll paste it here, and I'll paste it here, and I'll paste it here. So for this in the middle, I'm changing this to percentage, 100% satisfied. Oh, come on, satisfied rate. Maybe this can be 25. Can remove that. Maybe you can say 25 years of experience. Years of experience. Yep. Then this last one, I think we can have like 50 hours. Come on. maybe we can select and maybe say 35, remove the suffix, and we can say word. Come on. Yep. So that looks quite good. Then next we have this professional tip section, and this is really easy to create, guys. So one thing we have to do is to create, there could be 4 columns. Yeah, it can just be actually 1 column. Yeah, but let's do 4. And then I think I'm gonna add a 60-60 to the top and 60 to the bottom. Then I add a 60 padding, then 60 to the bottom. Then go under style, come to background section, come to color, and just make it gray. So we need a shape divider top. Let's tilt it. Did we tilt it? Yeah, but make it 50. Yeah. Then bottom, let's also tilt it, and let's also make it 50. All right, of the height. So right here, I'm gonna add an image and select this image. I'm gonna upload the files because the other ones I uploaded are too far to be scrolled down to. So it's easier for me to access them from here. So I'm gonna use this gentleman first. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this and paste it right here. Well, it's not pasting, but let me just do it one more time. Copy and paste. All right. Then I just duplicate it. Oh God. All right. It's okay. So I'm gonna have the name and then the department, sort of. So let's say he's in marketing. And what we can do actually is that we can make that text white color. Then the typography, this is too heavy. We can make it normal. Okay. Then let's just center it. And let's just center this. Go under advanced and add a margin bottom so that we can pull up everything that's down to it, close to this. Okay. So this is how it looks. Then we need some rounded edges on this image. So under style, let's just add a border of something like 20. Oh, it's 20 too heavy, but I think that's fine. Then let's see how we're looking. That's quite good, but no. What I want to do actually is that I've made a mistake right under here, and I'll actually delete this and delete this and delete this. Okay, but what I'll do, I'll add another column just like this. Okay, then I'll do the same thing of 60 to the top, 60 to the bottom, 60 to the top and 60 to the bottom. Okay, then give it a background of gray, but first let me add the shape divider. So to the top, let's tilt it and make it 50 height. Okay, then the bottom, also tilt it, the shape divider, and make it 50. Give it a height of 50. Okay, so that's how it's looking. Okay, so on the inside, I think we had made it here 60-60. So now we need to first add this text right here. So let's add heading, and we can call it team. Okay, can duplicate it. Then we say professional team. Then we just apply this text right here, okay, or by adding a text editor. All right, and you just paste it in. Okay, so you take away that blank space, then you start working on these. So we center this and make it green, and make the typography really small to something like 16. Then center this also. However, let's correct this and say professional, and we can make it this white color, though it can be heavier to something like 900, and the font can be 36 or 39 actually. Then this can also be centered, yeah, and the text color can be that white, and the padding can be of, I think, 100 to the left, sorry, to the right, and 100 to the left. Okay, so the color should be that, but I'm getting a problem. Let me copy this again, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select everything and just paste it as a plain text. So it's not working the way I need it to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna repaste it once again. Come on. Yeah, something like this. I don't know why it's giving me so much hard time. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is then I'm gonna add this. So below this, I'm gonna add a container. Then in this container, I'm gonna add more containers. Okay. So then I'm gonna duplicate them. But on this parent container, I'm gonna make it row direction. Then I'm just gonna drag in this image. Okay. Drag in this text under here, and also this text under here. So then I can duplicate this to make it look as good as I need it to. So let's just duplicate that one more time, and we can delete this column and close this up and change these images to the respective people that we want to add to the team. Okay, so I think that looks good. So if you have the time, you can change the names and the departments. For example, you can make this, it's from analytics, and it's from sales, something like that. Yeah, so you can also manipulate and change the name to Ronnie Reese, something like that. Yeah, depending on what you need. Okay, yeah, so basically that's how it looks. So then lastly, I would want to add the CTA to this page right here, and that's how it looks. So now if you take a look, for example, at the mobile, tablet, that looks just nice. Then for the mobile, let's see how that's looking. Yep, maybe you can center this, center align this, and reduce on the size, and center align this also, and yep. So even this can be centered, I think. That would be perfectly fine, and that would be nice. That's all right. Professional team. This isn't so nice, so I think I'll just turn this off. Okay, then the team section, everything just looks fine. Yep. So you can click update and publish that. So if you have to preview this is how it would look. All right, so now you can take a look at also the contact page. And with the contact page, what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on edit page. Okay, then you're gonna click on edit with Elementor, and it's gonna look something like this. Okay, yeah. So now let me quickly show you what you're gonna be doing. So the very first thing, I want to make the entire page gray by clicking on settings and page settings under style. Let's just click on classic and just make it gray. So the very first thing, I'm going to add two sections just like this, one for the left and message and the other for the right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some text right here. So I can add a heading, and this can be h5, whatever you'd want, but I'd prefer you keep it here, something like that. So this could be something like contact us, okay, and it can be green. Then you can add in this text of send us a message, and you can duplicate this and just make it h2. Yep. Then once that is done, you can just paste in that text, and probably you can make this that white shade. Then we can have this text be placed under there, so we can have a text editor placed, then just paste it as plain text. Should it be that color? Maybe, yeah, but you can make it lighter. Okay, maybe this can be white just so it stands out. Sorry, yeah, something like that. Then we can add this contact information by adding, you guys already know by now, an icon list. So this is the icon list we want to add. So I feel like there's some space. All right, so we can add a contact here. So I can copy that, I can copy the mail, and I can copy the location. Okay, so for the very first thing that I'm going to add, it's going to be Windows V, the contact. Then I'm going to add the mail, and what I'm going to do next, I'm going to add the location. Okay, so now let's change these icons to match. For example, I can search for the map and add my location. Okay, click on mail, and we're going to use an envelope. Then for the phone, obviously we're going to use the phone, something like that. Okay, so let's make the icons, I think blue would be nice, or the green. Yeah, but the blue looked nice here. Then the text, actually, let's just make it white, or we can make it this text color white, something like this. Okay, so now I don't need this text to be, I don't know if there's any space, but I'm gonna click on this list right here. Then I'm gonna put a negative top margin so that it's as close as it can be to that text up there. Yeah, something like this would be nice. So on the right, I'm gonna search for a form. Then I'm gonna drag the form widget right there. So you guys can see we have the name, so we can change this to first name. I've made a tutorial about how to create forms, so you can change this to first name. I think I'm gonna link it in the description, yeah, for something more in depth. And you can make this last name. Okay, so for the first name, you can make the column width, let's say 50%. Yeah, 50%. So it doesn't span the entire width. And you can add maybe also another at 50%. Let's see, it's 40, but I need it to be 50. Then let's what other fields we have. So you have email, phone number, and message. So if you want to add a phone number, for example, if I duplicate that, then I can say change the type to tell. Then the label, okay, can be phone number. Okay, so I'm not gonna need these placeholders, so I'm gonna remove them for each element. Yeah, the design that I'm gonna do, I may not need them, so I'm gonna remove them just like this and like this. Okay, so now to style this form, you can go under style, then the label text color, I rather it's bright enough. Okay, then you scroll down to the fields, these white parts, so you can make actually the background the same as the gray we have in the background, or you can make it just a little bit lighter like that. Okay, that would absolutely be nice. Yeah, then whenever someone is typing, text color should be white. Okay, so in case someone is typing, then the text color should be white. And once that is done, you can come to buttons and just make them all blue. Yeah, something like this. That would be fine, and your form is looking nice. So when you take a look at how it looks in the mobile, I think tablet looks good. Even the mobile looks just fine. Yeah, guys, take a look at this. Yeah, it looks just fine. So now, one more important thing under content is that you can change, because every time someone sends an email to you, you need to collect the emails. So these emails are stored under submissions. Okay, and I'm going to show you where submissions are. Let me just open this up in a new tab. So when someone fills in this form, guys, I think we need some space to the top and bottom. This then looks so nice. Okay, let's just give it a 60. 60 to the top and 60 to the bottom. Yeah, as I show where submissions are. So it looks like this now. This is cleaner. So you can go to the dashboard, and under Elementor, yeah, under submissions is where you find any contact information, or if someone fills in a form, you'll find it in this section. Okay, but for now, there are some other settings. For example, if you click on this form widget right here, under actions after submit, you collect submissions. They send you an email to the email you used when you're registering for WordPress, yeah, the administration email, or you can add another email where it gets sent to. You can add MailChimp email lists. You can add ConvertKit email lists, MailerLite, Stock, Discord, or it can actually ignite or execute a pop-up. Okay, so depending on what you need, when someone fills in this information, you can easily do that. Okay, so now that's all I've had for you guys in this tutorial, and we can preview one website. I mean, one more time, this website, how everything is looking. Yeah, and I think this looks nice. So in case you need any image, any resource files, I am going to be linking those down in the description. Okay, all the images that we've used in this tutorial are going to be linked down in the description. So guys, if you like the video, you can share it with your friends, and please let me know in case you need any help, and I would be gladly available to help. And also make sure you like and subscribe the video, share it with your friends, and that's how I know that this stuff that I share with you guys is actually helping and you find it useful, and it helps me to keep going. Yeah, thanks for watching, and catch you in the next video.